All right, we're back. All right,
Excellent.
basically what happened, um, so I think dinosaurs turns, Phineas turns and tells Robert, "There's a excrucian with our Imperator. Can you get there in time?"
Yeah, and I think well, my first question is, am I still close enough to that witch where I actually don't have access to my magic and I have to run at actually human speeds?
You have access to your magic. You just are not
Okay.
being made
I'm just not
supernaturally
being like mind controlled or changed as a person by it.
right. Like you
I
remember
see.
who you used to be. You feel like who you used to be.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, okay, I start muttering the sentence like, "Oh, that lying," but before you can hear the other word, I'm already like you can't hear it because I'm so far away. I just start running.
Nice.
And I will do a miracle to get there as quickly as I can. I think
Okay.
I might do something crazy.
Um,
Let me check aspect.
yeah, I think at difficulty 7, you can be there instantly with
That's what I
the
was going to see.
tree.
I was looking at that fairy tale feat, which
Yeah,
with a discount of 3 and my aspect of 4, I can get there without spending miracle points instantly, right?
right. But that won't stop the action from taking place, just so you know.
Yeah, I get there right after the action takes place, right?
Yep. All right. So your
Perfect.
action and SLO's action take place simultaneously, which means that in
There's
the
a small
sky,
sonic boom.
yes, I mean, there isn't even a sonic boom if you don't want there to be, right? Your fairy
I
tale
know,
getting
there
there.
is.
Okay, you said you want a sonic boom? All right. So there's a small
Oh,
sonic
yeah.
boom, and you get there with your Imperator, and Imperator's like, yes, finally. And in the sky above the chancel, this enormous figure appears. It's like a wheel with like 4 square spokes inside the wheel, and there are 7 wings coming out of this wheel, and the wheel is spinning and it's on fire.
Yes, it's
And
on fire. I was going to ask that. Yes.
all wheels
We're
are on
going to
fire.
fight the burning wheel.
And there is an iron stick just floating next to this wheel. And feel like you realize just looking at it like, oh, this is Old Testament angel shit.
Yeah, this is like that is a winged wheel. Well, like this is just weird. This is by far out of like we've taken a cosmic whale to heaven to see God, and this is the strangest thing we've ever seen so far.
Yep.
Um, Golden, you've been reading your book of Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. Huh.
And I think we all hear like Astral stage whisper, yes. Now look at that pathetic creature below you. Destroy it. And the iron probe raises and it's going to strike down at your Imperator. And you guys can
Hang
all
on.
see
Wait,
this
hang
and
on.
act.
Wait a second. Sorry, I want to make sure I'm understanding the rule. The act of creating a previous version of our Imperator
Yep.
is one that Phineas cannot interrupt because for his action he instead alerted Robert.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I would like to defend our Imperator.
Okay.
I would like to catch this iron rod
Okay.
is probably the size of a skyscraper.
Yeah, it's probably bigger.
Excellent.
It's
I would like to
1,000
stop.
meters long.
Okay, excellent. I would like to catch it. I think this catching very large, heavy things and stopping them um, might be something I might want to master if I can aspect 10 it,
Yeah, sure.
aspect 9 it rather. So I will spend. I You said I can only spend miracle points in what increments of 1, 3, 6.
1, 2, 4, or 8.
Okay, I only need 2, so that's perfect.
Okay, but I'm gonna warn you, like, SLO wants your Imperator to die. So she added some
Okay.
strike onto this.
Okay, so I should. You're warning me that I might want to do it higher than level 9.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do. Give me a sec. Obviously, I don't want our Imperator to die.
Yeah, we get that part from the Batman game where Catwoman just decides to walk away and then the credits roll. But then we go back in time, like Robert's like, oh, maybe this shouldn't be allowed to happen.
I'm spending 7 miracle points, bringing this up to aspect 14.
Nice.
Holy moly.
Wait, you spending 7?
I can't spend 7. I'm going to spend 8.
Okay, that costs you a wound, though.
Just spending that many at once? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you can spend this over here in
I've never had to spend this many at once
the
before.
language of miracles. A word of command is a miracle that costs 8 MP and wounds you. What is the wound level? I can't remember.
Then I think I'll just try. If I spend 4, it would only be aspect level 11. I think I'm going to do word of command then. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what wound level you take.
And I assume wounds still can't. Like, durance doesn't negate wounds, it just makes it harder to actually get a wound. Wounds still happen, even if I have durance, right? I assume it does, but I want to double check.
It makes the wound less severe.
Okay.
And it does make it easier to heal.
That's true. It does say I heal faster.
Okay, this takes your highest health level. So it will be a deadly wound level.
Okay.
And it won't heal until both the story has ended and at least a month and a day has passed.
Okay, let me double check if I want to do that then.
Sure.
I mean, it's still better than our Imperator dying or risking that, and that would go down to I'll do it.
Okay, so you do it.
I will have mastered the giant heavy object stopping technique.
So what was your total level? It was
15.
And what is that breaking down to? It's 7 plus 8.
So I've spent 8 miracle points, plus 4 from my aspect, plus 3 from the discount.
Okay. So it's a level 9 miracle plus 8? No, plus 6.
Plus 6.
Plus 6.
Yeah. Level 9, but effective level 15.
And let me see. So Silo spent 8, 9, 10, 15. Okay.
Well, then even?
You're even. The defender wins. So
yes.
You describe yourself stopping this. Now, this is like level 15.
This is Dragon Ball Z.
This is
totally bullshit right now.
This is the classic, like, oh, he's dead. He's definitely dead. And then it's like the smoke clears. Absolutely. Like, this is over a skyscraper. Robert is probably just wearing, like, Hulk shorts now. His suit has disintegrated. He has a wound, and so you can see maybe, like, what would a deadly wound look on him for something like this?
Right.
I think you can see all in up down his, like, both of his arms were.
You cut off.
Sorry, I forgot push to talk. That I started moving my hands.
Okay.
Both his hands are raised in sort of a diagonal cross position to stop the steel thing, but his arms and like a significant portion of his upper chest are now like black and blue, completely with bruises. Like the whole thing is just deeply and like there's probably internal bleeding. Is the deadly wound, but he looks defiantly, though he's not quite sure where to look at a book, but he looks defiantly at it.
Nice.
For my next action, I would like to take this iron rod, grab it. Actually, I assume this is probably a what is it?
A treasure?
Not a
An
treasure,
anchor?
a whatever it is.
An anchor?
It's probably an
Right.
anchor already.
Object.
Yeah. Is it an anchor already?
It is.
Okay, so I can't make it my anchor.
You can try. You just have to defeat its owner.
Oh, okay. Then I would like to. I don't think I want to carry this around all the time, so I don't think I'll make it my anchor. I would like to simply throw it back at it to pierce the book.
Sure. So let's see here. So you want to throw it back. Does anybody else want to take actions?
Yes.
Yeah. Matthew the T-Rex.
Okay.
Fake Robert. Which I think. I mean, you need to tell me how this works because it's different from the previous edition. But I've already done a lesser miracle of motion in order to have the T-Rex defend like our Imperator against
Sure.
this person. But it wasn't successful because of strike, so I need to escalate the action. Can I just add points on top of the miracle, or do I need to do the whole miracle again?
You did do a new action because that action resolved.
Damn it.
I think I would like to telepathically say, if that is a free action, is that a free action?
I
would like to ask.
We'll say it is at this point.
Not to kill Clone Rock. I think I can still use him. So yeah, I simply say don't kill him when you're about to command the T-Rex to
Don't
attack
kill
him.
who?
Clone Robert.
Okay. Yeah,
I
Clone
think I
Robert's
just say I can use him.
in the same room with you, and he's just like, what the hell is going on? Meanwhile, your Imperator is like, yes, finally, release from my prison of terrible, painful life. Robert has, grabbed the middle pole. Isillo is going to do a miracle of greater preservation on New Imperator copy.
Oh, okay. So they're going to try and effectively defend using that miracle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we feel a connection to this other Imperator, who is also our Imperator?
Yeah, there's probably some weird stuff going on metaphysically, but you are still actually bound to your original Imperator. You are
true.
not powers of this new Imperator, but reality is confused because there are now two instances of the same Imperator. And it's like,
do you think our Chancellor itself might be like, but which one is real?
Yeah, definitely. But you guys know because you guys have an actual connection.
Okay, I'm not spending any miracle points, so I'm at difficulty level 7 of Fairy Tale Feat to throw this.
Sure. So that will just fail because the greater preservation, as well as using another word of command to make sure that this copy of your Imperator stays around for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, this is her tactic, right? Like, kill something with themselves.
Does she take wounds for doing this as well?
Oh, yeah. She's taken 2 deadly wounds so far.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Imperators did when they did that. Or, in this case, not Imperator.
The Excrucian is, yeah.
Okay. Well, what happens when I throw the pole at it? Does it sort of catch it and hover with it as if it caught it with invisible hands again?
No, I think the pole, you pull it out of whatever invisible force Umayya's clone was holding it with, and then you jam it right into one of the spokes of the wheel, but it just ting really loud, definitely loud, and then bounces off.
Okay, perfect. And then the skyscraper's solid iron or steel piece of metal falls to the ground, which just probably causes an earthquake or something.
I think Umayya catches it before it falls to the ground.
Okay.
But yeah.
Which Umaya?
Clone.
Okay. This is going to get confusing.
Yeah.
What's Umaya backwards? Let me spell it out.
I actually don't know.
Ayamu. Ayamu?
Hiamu.
Haimu?
Robert, I know you're not going to like this, but I think Phineas still wants Matthew the T-Rex to eat.
Yeah, it's your action. I've done mine, and we resolved ours. You have yours to do.
So so there's two things going on here. One, the estate of dinosaurs is hungry and primitive, and this is a hungry and primitive kind of an action. And two, I think the defense of a holy power is a thing that Phineas believes is innately like valid. So I'm gonna do that thing.
Okay, how hard do you do it?
I'm gonna do it really hard. I have I have 4 miracle points left in domain.
Okay.
So that gets me to 1 to 5 to 8. Which I don't. What can I? I mean, I really didn't think of this character as a domain-y character.
When
so
you're
I
in
need
the
to actually
chancel,
look up.
you do whatever you want, basically. Also, I'm going to give everybody a breath. That means you get 1 MP in each category because you're fighting a major foe. You've encountered a major foe.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
That seems fair. Is that after my action or before?
Before.
It is. It effectively doesn't matter because I only have 5 anyway.
Yeah, you can't spend 5 anyway. You only spend 1, 2, 4.
I only spend 4.
But remember, you can also convert MP from other categories at a cost of 3 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's sweet.
Yep.
So, I think as a so I guess this is a thing I can do. This is interesting. So, I am doing a miracle level 6 still, which is in addition, except I'm bumping it up to effective level 8 for Clone Robert specifically.
Right.
So I guess that's 2 strike or whatever, or are those 2 different things?
No, that's fine.
And what I'm doing is I'd like Matthew the T-Rex to just like close its jaws, like out of nowhere, right? Like we see this big action happen, and there's this like big epic tussle, and then just like the teeth of the dinosaur just like eating the guy out of the outhouse in Jurassic Park,
right?
And just like chewing and chewing and chewing, and then
so because he's not a miraculous character, I'm going to say that he's in the process of being eaten, and I'll need you to make 1 action to have him eventually be eaten. But right now, he's going to take a tough health level to resist being eaten by a dinosaur. So he's in the dinosaur's mouth being eaten, but he's not dead yet.
That seems fair. Anyway, that's my action.
Okay.
And I think I can do this as well. Is to summon, like, I just like to point as many, whatever the radius is, that like block radius that a miraculous action can be in effect for, using the ability to do like I'm doing a higher level miracle, which is like a 6, but you can include lesser miracles in that. So I'm also just pointing as many dinosaurs as I can in the immediate vicinity towards this location as our allies.
Okay. Yeah, I think we just see all the dinosaurs in the entire chancel. They'll start stampeding towards the center.
Nice.
but unfortunately, the dinosaurs underneath, like it's still like Umayyah's clone is like maybe a mile up in the air. Like they're
Oh, totally.
humongous. Okay, like
Yeah.
the their stick is a kilometer long. You know, like they're probably 800 meters in diameter.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the dinosaurs are all like gathering underneath and staring up at this giant flying burning wheel.
All right. I have another thing I'd like to do if everyone has finished their actions.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a mundane action now.
Now, does it seem like from the interactions we've had that this, like, she creates copies of Imperators and of people and stuff like that? Is this an anchor that she's creating, or is it a miracle? Like, is it directly under her control?
It's a miracle. So let me get meta for a minute. There are limitations to miracles, right?
Yeah.
So let me read this off for you. Um, Hubris and acts of wonder. Miracles may touch the imperial or Exusian soul. They can give birth to wonders. They can shatter the patterns of causality and make twisting out of time. They can change you, can improve you, can make you better, stronger, and transcendent. They can do crazy stuff, and even most particular miracles in the form of gifts can play havoc with even the base tenets of the rules. But the powers that you have are finite and cannot give you ease. The hubris rule sets these four limits on what miracles may do, to ensure that the HG can continue to challenge the avatars and add trouble to their lives. You can't remove or banish all the conflict from your life. You can't give yourself a dharma of peace, safety, or ease. You can't use description to dodge the conflict system by phrasing a miracle such that the target can't or won't choose to resist it. And paradox and acts of hubris, herein defined as miracles that create, destroy, or reshape miraculous power equal or superior to your own, can form a void within the world that attracts actual or excruciating possession. Not every paradox and not every act of hubris will do so, but it's up to the HG to decide whether it's common, uncommon, or rare. If you're going to change yourself into something else, or make an Imperator factory, shatter hell, or catch in the glass snuff the maker, creator of all things, perhaps you can, and perhaps you can't, but be aware that it is a principle of the universe that what succeeds has consequences. So, in this case, the Imperator is doing an act of hubris by creating another Imperator. Um, and as a result, my ruling is that this is an actual Imperator that will fight the Extrusians if it survives.
Okay.
But at the
Um,
moment, it also falls under the Extrusians' domain, and therefore they can act through it in the same way dinosaurs can act through a dinosaur.
yeah, I see. I would like then to use a miracle, a domain miracle. That's domain wanderlust. I want to. I want to. Because this thing being that sadism is one of the like estates of this imperator, right? Even the clone.
Yep.
Perfect. I would like to, I guess, like build that to grow it in order to. I'd like to make it extremely and even more so than normal sadistic against excrucians to the point where um, it immediately goes to fight the excrucian who is currently acting through it. I would like. I
Okay.
think this. What my idea for this is difficulty 8, greater destruction. Use my estate to destroy something else. Um, the something else specifically being the. I'd like to attack the excrucian lady using this sadistic imperator that's here.
Okay. Yeah. That seems reasonable.
Okay. I'll have to spend 1 miracle point to get it at 8. I think I'm going to. It's still going to be 8, but it's going to be an effective level of. I can spend it as. I'll spend 4 miracle points, so it would be an effective level of 10. I think 3, 3, Yeah. Effective level of 10.
Okay. So in response, they're going to try and preempt this and create a creation of death on themselves, and they'll die on their own terms before your Imperator has a chance to kill them.
Okay. So they will die by themselves.
Yeah, like we see outside that the Excrucian, like their body, if it lights up and then explodes, there's like little pieces of fiery embers floating through the air. And they're now actually dead. Of course, there are technicalities about that.
Okay. So if they do that before I do my action, do I still spend the miracle points?
You may rewrite your action, so no.
Okay. Now, if they're doing that, how big of a wave or ripple does this them killing themselves thing do? Like, is the Imperator still around that is fighting us?
Yep.
Are all their effects still around? Okay.
Yep, everything's still around.
Okay,
They've
they
simply said, I no longer want agency in this fight. I'm going to escape by killing myself and come back and fight later.
Okay. I will change my miracle to same level, I think. I think I'll spend fewer points in that case. I think it has to be level 8. I'll only spend 2 miracle points then to get it up to exactly 8.
Okay.
And then same level of level 8, but instead of going to immediately attack her, it's going to go hunt her down and attack her later when it finds her after she reforms and comes back.
Sure. So I don't think this is actually countered by any miracle. I don't think Umayya's clone cares to resist this with a wound, so I think it will happen.
Perfect.
So I think Umayya's clone is going to flap her wings and create a pillar of fire on top of Umayya and try and burn to dust anything in the center of the chancel.
Okay, that's its action?
Yeah. Let me do some math really here.
And then Phineas and Trek, you guys can still do stuff to defend, right?
Yeah. I have an option if Trek, if you want to do something you can, but I have an option if you want.
Yeah. What do you got?
Fire doesn't go through the earth. I can bury things in the earth. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that's smart.
Nice.
Yeah, this is where I start to use the stuff that I'm actually good at. Let's do some Persona miracles.
Let's play Kelvin Ball.
Pardon?
Let's play Kelvin Ball.
Yeah, totally. One of the properties of the estate of dinosaurs, they are hidden underground. Nice. So, real Robert, who is not currently being eaten by a dinosaur.
Yes.
Do you want to be underground, or do you want the angel to be underground?
With Durant, unless this is like super fire.
Oh yeah, it's super fire.
Okay, super fire. I would be okay with being underground. If it's one of the two of us, I heal faster than our Imperator would because of Durant, which makes me tougher and heals faster. So
I'll allow you to put this entire room underground.
Yeah,
totally. Or even conceivably the entire chancel
underground. Do the whole. Yeah.
I mean, I want them to stop threatening our Imperator, so I think I'm just gonna bury that entire area.
Yeah, just everything under the fire.
According to the rules, it's like a city block-sized area, and I'm not moving the earth up over it. I'm taking that space and hiding it under the earth.
Like the earth just like everything just all kind of turns to quicksand for a bit. Like everything just sinks.
Right, totally. Yeah. That entire area is it was above ground, and now it is underground. The level of the ground hasn't changed.
Yeah.
The nature of that area to be underground has changed.
Temporarily, and then it stops sinking.
Totally, yeah. So I think let's figure out what that is. Lesser. This is not incarnation. This is a lesser enchantment, which I can do free. Do I need to? I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't understand the rules, and I also don't want our Imperator to die.
Right.
If the narrative effect happens in a way that would counter the miraculous effect, the narrative description of the miraculous effect, do I need to worry about strike?
Yeah.
I do. But we've established they've already taken 2 deadly. I probably do that.
The Excrucian took 2 deadly wounds.
Yes.
The copy of Maya is totally fine.
Yeah, we've been acting against the Excrucian through other things. All the copies themselves so far are fine, except one that's about to be eaten by a dinosaur.
Well, he took a tough wound level, so.
Right. Okay. But, yeah. So this is a 4, which I can do for free at effect level 7, and I think I've got a bunch of free persona, and I really want to get our Imperator out of harm's way. So let's spend 4 more.
Okay.
That gets me to 4, 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay. Yeah, you win. It was a greater creation of fire, and then there was 2 strike on that, so that was 9. So 11's good enough.
Okay.
So yeah, the entire area goes, everyone in the cave, I guess, sinks deeper underground, and becomes entombed in the dirt like a fossil, and they're suffocating, but it's not a huge deal because the fire pillar over them doesn't hurt them at all. It's still there. I think this is a stationary, persistent column of fire, like in Moses, where
I could just kind of stay there.
Down the pillar of fire. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just kind of staying there, but it's not doing any damage to anyone that matters.
Yeah. And if I may, as a free action, this is just a mind telepathy thing. I'd like to Trek say, can you find us the quickest path to our enemy outside the chancel?
Oh, I'm sure I can do something. Yeah. I mean, I could create the path technically, couldn't I, with the creation miracle?
Yeah. Probably with domain roads.
Yep.
But you can also just tell them how, I guess. You can do a metaphysical road. Can I say it's a lesser creation? But I think you go to start to try and do this, but remember they're dead. I think you can. They exist now only as a concept. They don't have a body. And so I think you, as also a bodiless entity, realize that you can interact with them on this bodiless plane, but they don't have a body to kill, or they don't have a life to take.
Okay.
Because
let me check something real quick here.
They killed themselves already.
Right.
You can't kill them more. They're dead.
Well, I wish you weren't so good at Nobilis.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck here with not knowing what exactly to do.
Well, we talked earlier about how Wanderlust would be our person that fights other concepts, so...
Yeah, I mean, I could still go after him, but the thing is, if I'm outside the chancel, I don't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I barely managed to stop that attack with my background and with the discount and as many miracle points as I could possibly spend.
Yeah.
And an asset of 4.
I mean, we can't defeat our own Imperator, right? Like maybe we could, but that sounds like
Difficult
bad.
would be an understatement.
Yeah,
but I already did a miracle that would send them away, basically.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant immediately.
Oh,
That's
I thought it was.
how I. No,
Okay.
I. That's how I worded it, and I assumed that after that action, because it was simultaneous, they would go.
Oh. Okay, I interpreted it as after. Other thing. After they were done here in this encounter, later they would go back and hunt them down. Okay, in that case, I'm just going to say they resist it with taking a wound.
They would resist it. Okay.
Let me
It
just
was
determine
level 8 for me.
Okay, level 8. Of course, this is an Imperator, so they're immortal. Alright, they still take a deadly wound. Alright.
Okay. Is it possible to do the same miracle again, or is it like technically in the words but not in the spirit of the rules?
You can do it as many times as you want, as long as you want to pay for it.
Okay.
Also,
Sure.
you've mastered certain techniques that are useful.
I have written down. I have mastered the technique of stopping enormously heavy objects.
And
I thought that was it, isn't it?
last time,
Yeah, you mastered one last session.
Oh, lying to excursions.
Right.
Perfect.
oh, it's lying to anybody. You don't have to only be exclusion.
And lying? Perfect.
That'll be mastered the
naturally
technique of
lying.
I'll do what you want lie to anybody.
That's true.
Right. Making people believe that you'll keep your promises.
Yes.
So Umaya clone is a full-on Imperator, correct?
Yes, I think it's an exact copy, full power.
All
Yep.
right. So turning it into an anchor is probably not an easy thing or even advisable.
Well,
If
it
you
only
guys
took me
beat it-
one MP. It only took me one MP to give it a deadly wound from it resisting my miracle, so I can just keep doing that. If everyone has done their actions, then I will do that again because I don't think I have to. Can I do that while I'm underground? I can still like sense it as a danger to the chancel and target it, right? Or do I have to be able to see it?
No, because you can't see it. It has to be line of sight, or you have to have some link that lets you target it.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't made any anchors yet. You can do a
No.
lesser divination or divination this turn. You know, it's lesser divination because it is an embodiment of your estate. And then next turn, you'll just use that divination as a mystic link. Of course, it can also use that same mystic link to target you.
Interesting. I have one deadly wound. It is one deadly wound. But it wouldn't be able to do that this action because it would be able to do that at the same time that I target it, right?
Right.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do a lesser divination. I'll check how many. I have is that a persona? What type is divination?
Domain.
Okay, then I get it for free. Yeah, I lesser divination for this action.
Right, so yeah, you can sense it over you, and then it's going to take its metal dowsing rod, because that's what it is. It's 1 kilometer long rod, and it's going to jam it into the earth, where it detects Umaya. Or at least, in the middle of the fire, because it assumes it just went straight
it doesn't
down.
for sure.
But, it's a large metal rod. It's bound to hit something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can I be maintaining my hidden in underground thing?
You are. You
Yeah,
are
okay.
hidden underground.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to maintain it at the 11 whatever miracle it is.
Okay, yeah, oh, that's right, you can do that. You can just maintain
Yeah.
a miracle for as long as you want. I forgot about that.
So I mean, it takes up one of my actions for as long as.
Right, but well, it takes up one of your action slots, but you can still take new actions.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I guess it drives its metal rod into the earth, but it can't find purchase.
Or it's gonna have to spend some MP, I guess.
Yeah, I have to divine or something.
Yeah.
And then it pulls out the giant metal rod, and it's like hunting around for you guys.
I love its dosing for our Imperator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If everyone's okay with it, I have a thing.
Yeah.
Trek, did you ever locate the Excrucian?
Zen?
So I think you're muted, Zen.
Which excrucian?
Asalal, the one who has killed them.
Oh, the one that killed themselves?
Yeah. Like, have you
I like how
shown
that's
them-
such a minor inconvenience.
I mean, they're like, they are dead, right? Like, they haven't been doing additional actions. They just created a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
They're dead.
Really insanely, stupidly powerful.
They no longer have agency in this thing.
Yeah, and if needed, I could seek them out in the conceptual realm, I suppose. But
Okay. Can I guess my other action then is to Mystic Link them to find their old location. So I'd like to, using the site, which I think is a level 0 Persona Miracle.
Okay.
I'm going to trace the energy path of their miraculous action back to their location, and I'd like to find their body.
Like I said, their body.
Not physically, just miraculously.
Okay. So yeah, you find the spot, but there's nothing there. Like they literally turned to ash. And
That's fine.
dissipated on the wind.
Yeah, but the Mystic Link is still there, right?
I mean, they're dead. There's no more link or anything.
Right? Oh, okay.
Like they're actually dead. They're not, ooh, I'm a spooky ghost. I have become death.
Never mind. Okay, I didn't understand that then. So if there's nothing, if there is no Mystic Link, then I don't do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to rethink a little bit. So if somebody else,
sure.
Actually, how quick? I'm just gonna get it. No, I'm gonna think. Sorry, somebody else can go.
So I think Umaya's clone is going to, use these mystic links now that connect her to Robert. She's going to drive the dowsing rod right onto Robert.
Okay. And then my action. If I take that would be a deadly wound to resist that, I assume, right?
Yeah, it would be.
And I would have 2 deadly wounds, but on the other hand, I could then immediately send it away if I use a miracle and it does. At worst, I'm trading blow for blow with an Imperator versus as I'm just a Nobilis, so that's still worth it.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do that. I will take a deadly wound to just take that,
okay,
and use my action to repeat the attempted miracle of invoking it to immediately leave and hunt down the excrucian that created it.
Okay. So let's take 2 deadly wounds now. Yeah, I think it will not resist and it will leave because it does not want to die. So I think we see the air above the chancel kind of turn like a bright blue, like it's glowing. The air is actually glowing, and the wheel turns translucent for a moment, and then it seems to fade out of existence as it enters the deep spirit world.
Goddamn Imperators.
Robert, without having blocked this attack by the kilometer-long dowsing rod, probably is now black and blue all over his body with 2 deadly wounds, and and probably has like several broken ribs and probably a broken collarbone and stuff like that.
And you're suffocating underground.
Correct. Very true. I assume you can probably help with that part.
So,
Yeah.
Robert, like, you can probably feel your clone was dying. Because the dinosaur is still trying to chew it to death, and also it's suffocating.
Yeah. Does having 2 deadly wounds matter in terms of gameplay?
Nope.
In terms of penalty? Or is
You
it
do
when I
what
get
you want.
above the 2? Okay. I am literally underground.
Oh, I forget. We get to assign afflictions for these wounds. I forgot all about that.
Oh, for deadly wounds until the story is completed?
For all kinds of wounds. But yeah,
Oh,
that one
okay.
will last forever. So example deadly wound afflictions. Body dissolving, banished into the spirit realm, inducted into the ant colony, incredibly lucky, bisected, falling into darkness. So I think a reasonable deadly wound for being crushed by an enormous dowsing rod is boneless.
Yeah, like broken every bone in my body.
Yeah, like you're now
Amazing.
What's that game with play the Squid Dad?
Octodad?
Yeah, you're
Octodad.
now Octodad, basically. And you took a deadly wound before that, right?
I did. I have 2 deadly wounds.
What was the one before?
Was the one you said. There was for invoking an aspect, spending 8 miracle points to first master the technique. Yeah.
It was the.
It was
block
the first blocking one. Yeah, and I spent a lot of miracle points to master that technique, and then never used it. At least not since when I was given the next opportunity to.
Yeah.
Let's
see. I'll give you an affliction that says must block everything.
And is this until the wounds are cured, or
Yep.
what? Okay.
And because it's an affliction, it takes effect automatically. So now you will always block everything automatically.
If I'm attacked, yeah.
With your super miracle of blocking everything. This is kind of OP, honestly.
Is it?
I mean, it is in a way, but the affliction is like I can't take a hit to hit back. I have to be defensive.
No, I mean it takes an action on your behalf for free. Doesn't count as your action.
Oh, okay.
But this is pretty OP combination. Huh?
How many dots? Just one?
Okay. Actually, is that true? Let me just double check that.
Matt, what were you going to say?
Strictly speaking, this isn't an action, but I would like Matthew the Tyrannosaurus Rex to swallow.
I think you could do that before I get there.
I mean, like, I am doing this because my character is exploring the hungry primitive side, but I won't be offended as a player if you interrupt this, because I do realize this is an NPC to you. Just to talk it again.
I think it's more interesting if he loses this opportunity. If Robert loses, like he starts setting this thing up and then he just loses it in all the chaos that ensues.
Sure.
Yeah, it'd be easier to, like, also this thing is an anchor that can't be given up by an Imperator or an Excrucian that is an enemy. Of all the clone Roberts that we will encounter, this one is probably going to be my least favorite.
It's actually a level 5 affliction. Now look at the rules. It's level 2 when it's a lesser miracle. Level 4 when it's a greater miracle. This was a word of power, so it's level 5.
Yeah.
So,
what page is that?
It's in the wounds damage handout.
Yeah, that's from some page, but I don't remember. I didn't write down a lot of page numbers.
No, that's cool. I'll just look up wounds.
Yeah, you can just text search any of this text and you'll find it in the book. Okay, yeah, so we're going to say that Robert Clone dies. And then shortly later, the King T-Rex dies. Because he's suffocated.
He's suffocated, even though I lesser preserved him.
He's underground. He's preserved. Dinosaurs are extinct.
Yeah,
I swim through the dirt to get to the air.
Okay, you like just pull yourself back into the cavern ground, and there's like little mole tunnel.
Exactly. That's
mole mound
exactly
behind
what
you.
I do.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's probably made easier by the amount of space that the dowsing rod, like portal-esque hitting me through the ground, worked.
I guess we need to rescue. This is me talking as a player, not in character. We need to rescue our fucking Imperator too.
I
forgot about this, that your Imperator can't be moved. So
I did not move them.
You moved what they were stuck in, right?
I changed the quality of the of their. I didn't move them. I just changed whether or not they were buried underground.
Okay. So I think there's like a mound, like there's a rock that has appeared around your Imperator, because this was reality's way of like resolving these impossible things.
Yeah.
Okay. He's buried underground but hasn't moved.
Right.
I have an idea. This isn't a player question. If I wanted to make another clone of Robert.
Yep.
So the Robert, this would be kind of like interpretation lawyering.
Yeah.
But one of the properties of dinosaurs is that they are extinct, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And we've established that Robert will, my character Robert, will never go back to the way he was.
Yep.
Therefore, the way that old Robert was could be considered extinct, as in not coming back.
Sure.
Could you use that to make a clone of old Robert since it was extinct? Could you create the Robert that was extinct? Like dinosaurs are extinct and you have those around.
So you could turn somebody else into old Robert? That way?
Okay. Not from thin air?
No.
You mean I could?
Yes, you could.
Yeah, Phineas could.
Phineas could turn somebody
Robert
else
might ask
into
you
old
to make
Robert.
Another clone.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
As long as it's not a universe-destroying anchor, that sounds fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in character, Robert is pissed at Phineas and he goes to find you. Where does he find you? Because I don't know if you weren't here in person for most of the time, or I don't know if any of the time.
Okay.
I think Asalel didn't leave a body, right?
Right.
She just died, and there is no body.
And she wasn't even in this realm to begin with.
Yeah, no, I know that, but is there a body?
She disintegrated.
Which technically there are particles, but nothing put together.
Right. I think if this is something that... I think you find me in the spot where Asalel was. And Golden, tell us if there's like dust or like disintegrated particles or ash or anything like that.
Is there not a pile of anything? And this is outside the chancel for what's
Yeah.
I'm moving outside the chancel.
I think like if you use a greater divination, you would find like random particles of dust, but they don't have any connection to her anymore.
That's fine. I don't need to find her. I just want to find the place where she was.
Yeah, you find a place where she was.
Okay.
And there's like
I'm there, and I'm saying some funeral work.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I think that's a thing that Phineas would do.
Sweet. So yeah, Robert. I think. Are we in like space? Would I be walking towards you or flying towards you? How would this work?
You're just on the ground. There was a plateau that's like a
Okay.
mile high. You probably jumped off, so maybe like you land Superman style next to him.
Okay. Then yeah, I yell like Phineas. As soon as I like no, I'm in normal yelling range. I don't think I do like a miracle yell.
Right.
And yeah, you turn over and you see Robert almost naked, but for Hulk shorts, basically like ripped shorts that were once part of a pantsuit. Yeah, just like broken bones, bruised. Some of like his limbs don't look like they're moving like limbs should. He doesn't. He's doesn't seem to be bothered by it. He's just looking at you angrily. He's covered in dirt, and like there's still some in his hair, and there's like dirt marks all over his skin.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a bad day, or rather, a bad last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Phineas just states that, like he finishes like a short thing that he's saying, and he turns to Robert and he says, "You look like you've had a bad day, brother Robert."
I think that Robert is currently feeling very blunt, and so he just looks at you, just pissed as the totality of his feelings towards you, and says, "You killed the other me. I was going to use him. I could have sent him back to my family."
I bow my head and I say, I know, and I deeply regret it. I acted in anger, which is not a feeling I aspire to. And I think I gesture to like my collar because I have like the priest collar on, and I say like as you can imagine.
And I think
I'm sorry for the loss of life. And equally,
Robert's completely taken aback at this.
Mm-hmm.
His he's like shocked. He's used to arguing and being angry at people who will defend themselves and will like. He was as a player even, but definitely as a character even more so. Mm-hmm. He was expecting you to defend your decision basically, and so he's like, just don't do it again. I said to keep him around, and I don't do anything for no reason.
I think I say we hadn't really had a chance. Things have been moving so quickly. We hadn't really had a chance to talk about plans, what we were to do. If I have hurt you in some way, least of all your family, I deeply regret it.
I can't go back. We can't go back to the way things were, but I have a business and a family that need a Robert Steele back. And that was my key. My ticket to doing this, and he like gestures to us being in like another realm and him being like how he is with his 2 deadly wounds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, while also not having to worry about them or, didn't have to choose. And I think he just says, have to you, but also have to himself, like, now we need another plan.
I think I look at you and I say, we can find another way. Surely neither I don't quite understand everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks. But I know now more so than I ever have before that miracles exist in this world and the next. If if anyone can protect your family, if anyone can keep your family safe, I know that you can do it, and I want you to know that I'm here by your side to help.
Still determined to be angry, or rather determined to find reasons to be angry, Robert's like, it's not about protecting them. Protecting them I can do, and I know that. It's about providing for them. This new me, the old me is dead. Gone and not coming back. This new me, I hate that I like it, and I don't want to go back, but I also want to. How is someone supposed to find comfort talking to someone who enjoys hurting people?
I say the world hurts us in many ways. It is no different among my flock, among us. Come, and I think I gesture to Robert, and I say, walk with me a while. I need to visit the normal world. There are people I need to see. Will you come with me?
Robert makes his decision immediately, but takes a few moments to pretend to mull it over more, and then says way more hesitantly than he actually thinks, fine.
Okay. So, like, I know where I'm going, but I'm happy to pause here for a moment if Zen does anything
we need to pause
I was
anyway
about
and
to
take
say,
a break.
We can take a break, and then figure out what to do when you come back.
All right. Supposed to be back in about 5 minutes.